What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Paul. This is the Leeds Therapy. Thank you ever so much for stopping by. I really do appreciate it. Before we get into the video, if you haven't done so already, if you could hit the subscribe button, if you could turn your notifications on, if you could like the video as well, and if you've got any comments that you want to make, if you want to agree, disagree, whatever you want to do, please feel free. Pop it in the little section down below and say whatever it is that you would like to say. All comments are always welcome. As I said, I hope you're doing really well. So just a little video more than anything, just in terms of a couple of bits and pieces of news. Me as ever, I'm late with news, but I tend to wait until it's been sort of more confirmed and more bits and pieces of information have come out. Now, Gruev, as we all know, has gone and had his surgery. We saw the pictures of him on Instagram having his surgery, his knee operation, and what it looks like, excuse me, sorry, windy pops there. What it looks like is that after further assessment, it was confirmed that Gruev would undergo surgery on a significant meniscus injury, although there was no indication of how long he would be out for. The YP understands it's now going to be months rather than weeks, and the midfielders' national team boss has all but confirmed as much. So what the national team coach has said is that at first we thought it was that the meniscus was not damaged, easy for some to say, and that it would take a month to recover, and that's what Iliev told BNT. And then it said it turned out to be the worst. About 5 months will be the recovery, and he will return alive and well for the World Cup qualifications. So effectively, it means, I wouldn't say it's the worst case scenario. What I would say is that it's bad, obviously, but what I would say is that it's more along the lines of the lesser end of the scale. Of course it's bad, but the lesser end of the scale, or the worst end of the scale, is that you're out for 12 months, gone completely for 12 months, and that's just the rehab period before you get back into training again and everything. So what it looks like is that it's going to be about 5 months that he'll be out. There'll be a lot of rehab that needs doing within that period of time as well. So to get himself back up to speed again, to get the strengthening going in his leg and everything. So it looks like around about March time, he's going to be back and available for us. So it's bad news, but for me, it's kind of what I thought was going to be the case. I thought it'd be somewhere between probably 5 and 8 months that he would be out in terms of the injury. Like I said, I've had an ACL tear myself, and that completely kiboshed my football. I call it a career, but I use the term loosely. Football career, and it kiboshed sort of my plans of taking that a little bit further forward and playing in more kind of senior leagues and stuff like that. I know I can't go and run around and play football again. I mean, I'm not an athlete, so that's one of those things, whereas obviously Gruev is. And hopefully, fingers crossed, and I really am hopeful of this, is that he should be back sooner rather than later in terms of being back for us and being available for us. Whether or not that's this season, I'm not 100% certain. But what it does mean is that we've now got probably a slight shift in system that we're going to have to get used to as a team. So with probably both Rothwell and Tanaka playing, and maybe Charlie Crew coming in a little bit in terms of we play. Tanaka and Rothwell are more forward-thinking. I was relatively pleased with them against Sunderland. Obviously, the result still infuriates everybody, but I was relatively pleased with how that finished and how that came about. So I'm all fine with that. So it should be interesting to see having a more sort of attack-minded midfield and how that kind of centre of midfield, I should say, and how that kind of works out for us. So off of the back of that, another story has come to light that we are potentially looking at Kouyate in terms of a free transfer. So there has been rumblings in terms of would we want to dip into that free agent market and what could we, bring around, and is there anything out there? So he is a possibility for us. He hasn't played, I believe, since last October. So for a good while. He's 34, But that, I mean, technically these days, with how fit these players are, it doesn't really matter anything. From what we know, he is currently at Thorpe Arch going through, I don't know, tests, training, whatever. There were reports coming out that the deal had been done and it had been completed. That's not accurate. I believe we're still waiting to make a decision on it. There was somebody, like I said, there was somebody on X, I think, that said it was pretty much a done deal and sorted, an agreement had been reached. Then Ben Jacobs came out and said that we are exploring the deal to sign Kouyate on a free transfer, and that no deal as of tonight, despite reports of a medication, and that was on the 11th. The way that we're looking at it, I believe, is a short-term contract, probably till the end of the season, and that would make absolute sense for me. No point in tying him down to a year or offering him a year contract. It's let's give you a short-termer till the end of the season, and then we'll take it from there. And we need to bolster the midfield. There isn't any questions about it. We absolutely have to bolster the midfield because of currently, I would probably say we're going to have to get into working out the fact that that Gruev won't be back this season, I don't think, potentially. And also as well, you know, Ampadu is going to be out for an extended period of time. So it makes sense, but it also in terms of other players that could be potentially out there as well. So the report goes on to say the necessity for the Whites to decide soon is driven by the timing of the international break, which provides a strategic window for integrating new players. I did think and I'd said before that I thought that the international break had kind of come as a bit of a blessing in disguise, because we had some players that were absolutely knackered, that need a little bit of a rest and need time to recuperate, just to get the body straight and everything. But if we are looking to bring new players in, potentially, this then gives like a 2-week window for a bedding in period, which makes absolute perfect sense. We know that Farke doesn't like doing stuff like this because it's very difficult, and he said it himself, it's very difficult to get people up to speed. However, I think what we're seeing now is a little bit of a softening of the recruitment approach, where you've got two sides that might have been disagreeing, shall we say, with regards to who to bring in and where to bring them in, etc., so on and so forth, that are just compromising a little bit in terms of how they go about stuff. So that, you know, shows a bit of growth on everybody's side, which is good. And no, that's not me speculating that there's people arguing behind the scenes and, you know, people not getting on. It's just that you're always going to have a difference of opinion of the way to do stuff. So the report again goes on to say that this is a crucial. This time is crucial for him to adapt to Farke's tactical system, understand the team dynamics, and build fitness levels specific to the German standards. And then it says, given the 34-year-old's experience, his quick integration could prove invaluable as Leeds are facing an injury crisis and are looking to bolster their midfield ahead of a crucial phase of the season, like I've just said there. So, the longer it goes on being delayed, the worse it could be in terms of being able to integrate him into the team. So we need to be mindful of that. I think, yeah, that car, I was just looking to see if there's any other bits and pieces that faced on that. No, that's pretty much everything. It was just those two stories that I wanted to bring because they're linked together because of obviously the position that Gruev plays and the position that Kouyate plays as well. So, yeah, that's going to do it for this one. I just wanted to bring a little update in. Sorry, probably not my best quality of video, but it's a bit difficult when you're trying to read what's been written and then obviously speak to camera at the same time as well. Anyways, I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please don't forget to click the like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. Please put any comments in that you want to put in. Share the video far and wide if you could do for me as well. And yeah, that'll do it for this one. Take care of each other. Most importantly, take care of yourself. And I will see you on the next one. Take care. Cheers.